ब्रह्मनाथ ओ शांति 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 स्वस्थ।
Hello students, in the previous class we discussed about the general characteristics of the phylum Chordata. Okay. In the Chordata we discussed so many general points such as it belongs to it have the bilateral symmetry, it have the triploblastic, means it having the three germ layers, ectoderm, endoderm and the mesoderm. The type of body plan is, we can say, tube within tube plan. Okay. So like this we discussed so many points and also discussed that the common we have discussed the term DTPN means what? It have these four general characteristics must. DTPN. D means dorsal hollow nerve cord. T means post anal tail. Okay, means after the anus the tail is present, means post anal tail. P pharyngeal gill slits. Okay, and lastly the N, obviously the presence of notochord. Students, we have also discussed so many points such as we can say that the heart is always present on the we can say on the ventral side. In the non-chordata it was present on the dorsal side if it was present, but in the chordata it is always present on the ventral side. So like this we discussed so many points under the phylum Chordata. Students, today first we will discuss some branches that are present under the phylum Chordata. We have completely discussed the subkingdom non-chordata. All the 10 phylums we have discussed in detail. Now we will discuss in detail all the, we can say, that are present under the classification that are present under the phylum Chordata. So students, as in the case of the chordata, notochord is present, that we know. Then I have told one thing, that in the embryonic stages obviously the notochord is present, but during the later stage that notochord is being developed into vertebral column. If the notochord is developed into vertebral column, then that group is known as, we can say, vertebrates or craniata. We can say presence of the cranium, a hard like skull in which the brain is being lodged, means, or we can say resides, the brain in which resides. So that is one division. The notochord which is not being developed later on into the vertebral column, then obviously they will stay under the group acraniata, or we can simply say cranium is absent. So first simple division under the phylum Chordata, there are two groups that are being divided. First one we can say the acraniata. Okay, second one is we can say craniata, or simply also we can say the vertebrates also. Vertebrates. Students, we belong to which group? These are the groups. Okay, we belong to acraniata or we belong to craniata. Does we have skull? Yes, we have the skull. Okay, does we have the vertebral column? Yes, we have the vertebral column. So obviously we will belong to craniata or we can say vertebrates. Okay students, then acraniata, or also we can say it is the protochordata. Acraniata is further divided into two subphylum, Urochordata and Cephalochordata, that we will discuss today in detail. So further acraniata or protochordata is divided into two subphylums. Those are, we can say, Urochordata and cephalochordata. Cephalochordata. Okay, students, no confusion. This one is your, we can say, the group. This one is your, we can say, the subphylum. Subphylum. Okay, so some general characteristics under the Acraniata. What? First point, under the Acraniata, because today our point of discussion is only Acraniata. Okay, later on we will discuss on the Craniata. Acraniata's common point, obviously chordata, it comes under the chordata. Chordata means notochord is present. The first general point, notochord is present. Notochord means rod-like structure derived from the mesoderm. Acha, notochord is present, but what is absent? Acraniata. A means absent. Craniata means cranium. Cranium is absent. And obviously, as I said, vertebral column is present. If the notochord is developed into vertebral column, then it belongs to the craniata or the vertebrates. Notochord is not developed into the vertebral column, then it belongs to the Acraniata. Means we can say the vertebral column is absent and also cranium is absent. So we can write our next point. Vertebral column is absent. What is next? What is also absent? Cranium or skull, in which the brain resides, is absent. Okay. So students, we found three important general characteristics under the group Acraniata. Today we will discuss two subphylums in detail, Urochordata and Cephalochordata. Before going in detail about the subphylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata, there is a line which is very important for you to know. This is the line in which the maximum case of the student gets confused. You only tell students that if we will take vertebrates and chordata, do all the vertebrates belongs to chordata? I am giving you 10 seconds. Think. Do all the vertebrates belongs to chordata? Okay, your answer is done. Next question. Do all chordata belongs to vertebrates? Two different questions, students. Do all vertebrates belongs to chordata? Your answer is what? Do all chordata belongs to vertebrates? Okay, you made your answer. Now I am telling you. Yes, all the vertebrates belongs to chordata because it is a subdivision of the chordata. But all the chordata are not vertebrates because chordata means what? Notochord is present, which is both present in the Acraniata and the Craniata. But in the vertebrate, that notochord is being developed into vertebral column. In the Acraniata, that notochord is not developed into vertebral column. Those are developed into vertebral column that are only belongs to the vertebrates. Then we can say now, students, that all the vertebrates belongs to the chordata, but all chordata are not belong to the vertebrates. Okay, so we can write this one important line. All vertebrates belongs to chordata. All vertebrates belongs to chordata, but all the chordata does not belongs to vertebrates. Okay, no confusion. This one is your very important. This is the line where in the case of the maximum student gets confused. Okay, once more I am telling that all vertebrates belongs to chordata. All vertebrates belongs to chordata. Okay, but all the chordata does not belongs to vertebrates. Okay, so now we discussed some divisions under the chordata, that is your acraniata and the craniata. Acraniata means cranium is absent and the notochord is not developed into vertebral column. Craniata, cranium is present and the notochord is being later on developed from the embryonic stages. When it comes to the forward or the later stage, it being developed into the vertebral column. That is why it is also known as your vertebrates. Okay. And under the group acraniata, two subphylums are there, urochordata, cephalochordata, which we will discuss in detail. Okay, please note down. Now come to your students, some points that belongs to the subphylum, we can say the urochordata. So first point, students, under the subphylum urochordata, these are exclusively marine. Those are maybe solitary or maybe colonial. Solitary means present singly, colonial means present in the group. These are basically, students, sessile, means these are fixed to their substratum by a strong base, or we can say they are basically attached to the rock. So our first point we can write. First point, these are exclusively marine. It may be solitary, means present in single, or colonial, and also we can say sessile, colonial and sessile, colonial and sessile. Sessile means what? Fixed, or we can say attached to the rock by the strong base, attached to the rock. It is not free swimming. It is, we can say, it is not free living. It is being sessile, means fixed. Okay, students. Next point. What is the common name? See, students, urochordata means, students, euro means tail, chordata means obviously belong to the something belong to the notochord. That we will discuss later on. It is also commonly called the tunicate. So we can write our next point. Commonly called as tunicate. Tunicate. Okay. See, students, the body is covered by a thick test or tunic. That is why it is known as tunicate. You can see the body is covered by a thick test, or we can say tunic. That is why it is known as, we can say, the tunicate. So we can write body is covered by thick tunic or test. That is why it is called as tunicate. Okay, called as tunicate. Okay, students, next point we can say to the notochord. See, students, what I said you, in the urochordata, means euro means tail, chordata means something belong to the notochordata. See, students, why it is name given urochordata? Because the notochord is being limited or restricted only up to the tail region, that also in the embryonic stage. That notochord which is present in the embryonic stage, that is not present in the adult stage, that is absent in the case of the adult stage. So we can write why it is called the urochordata, because the notochord is being restricted or limited only to the tail region, that also in the embryonic stages. So we can write our next point. The notochord, obviously it belongs to the phylum chordata, means obviously it should have the notochord, but in the embryonic stage only it have the notochord, that also only in the tail region. The notochord is limited or restricted into the tail region in the embryonic stages, or we can say in the embryonic stage. But in the adult, the notochord is completely absent. In adult, the notochord is completely absent. Completely absent. Okay. Next point, come to your nerve cord. Students, in the embryonic stages also the nerve cord is present, but in the adult stage the nerve cord is absent. So we can write our next point. In embryonic, one minute students. In embryonic stages, the nerve cord, always remember CH not. CH means notochord. Notochord have the CH. Nerve cord means only CORD. So in embryonic stage, the nerve cord is present, but in the adult, nerve cord is absent. Okay. Next point. The pharyngeal gill slits are generally present in the case of the subphylum Urochordata, as we discussed DTPN. So in the case of the Urochordata, the pharyngeal gill slits is present. Pharyngeal gill slits is present. Okay. Next point. What is the type of metamorphosis that we see in the case of the subphylum Urochordata? That is your answer will be, student, the retrogressive. We can say the type of the metamorphosis is being seen. Okay. So many more points are there. Let us you write up to this only, then we will go to the next point because it will not occupy in this much space. So first we will have the quick recap. These are the exclusively marine students. Solitary means present in single or the colonial. These are sessile means attached to the rock, commonly called as the tunicate, or also we can say the sea scot. We can also write commonly called as tunicate, or also we can write the sea scot. Sea scot means the ejecting of the liquid. Okay. It is also commonly called as the tunicate or the sea scot. Then the body is covered by the thick tunic or test. Thick tunic or test. That is why it is called as the tunicate. Notochord is limited or restricted into the tail region in the embryonic stages, but in the adult stage the notochord is completely absent. In the embryonic stage the nerve cord is present, but in the adult stage the nerve cord is completely absent. Similarly, the common point, pharyngeal gill slits is being present. This one is the structure by which it is being attached to the rock and make the, we can say the Urochordata sessile. Here we have written attached to the rock means by the help of this base it is being attached to the rock, by which it becomes sessile, means it is immovable. Sessile means what? It is we can say it is fixed, or we can say fixed to the substratum or fixed to the base, that is called the sessile. Okay students, please note down. Now student comes to your some next general points under the subphylum Urochordata. The type of metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means the, we can say the progressive of the, we can say the from the embryonic stages by crossing the larval stage, it reaches the adult stage. So this means we can say the development of the, we can say of the metamorphosis is of basically two types, students. One is your retrogressive, other one is your progressive. First let you understand that metamorphosis, student, metamorphosis, okay, means we can say it is the development process from the, we can say from the starting phase up to the adult stage. Okay, So between that, metamorphosis of two type. One is progressive, other one is retrogressive. First I will let you know what is progressive, what is retrogressive, then you will tell in which category that the urochordata belongs. See, progressive. See students, suppose this one is your embryonic case, this one is your, we can say, the adult case. Okay students, so if in the embryonic case, okay, or in the larval stages or in the embryonic case stage, it has some characteristics, but these characters are being highly developed in the case of the adult stage. So what is happening? Progressing is being happening, progression takes place, means the embryonic stages is less developed as compared to the adult stage, because this having some characters, but this have the more developed characters. That is why it is called the progressive metamorphosis. Retrogressive means what? Retrogressive means the embryonic stages is having more developed characters, okay, but when it goes to the adult stage, it have less developed character. Difference you can understand? Now you tell in which category that the urochordata will belong. I am telling you the concept, you tell the answer, you recite the answer. What in the urochordata we discussed? In the urochordata we discussed, in the embryonic stage, suppose this one is your, we can say, the embryonic stage, this one is your adult stage. In the embryonic stage, notochord is present, nerve cord is present, but in the adult stage, notochord is absent, nerve cord is absent. So in which category does it comes? Progressive or retrogressive? I am giving you 5 seconds. In which division it is coming? Progressive or retrogressive? Okay, your time is over. Yes, it comes under the retrogressive, because in the embryonic stages it have more developed characters, or we can say it is more developed one as compared to the adult. Okay, that is why we can easily say that the phylums, we can say subphylum urochordata comes under the retrogressive metamorphosis, or we can say simply the retrogressive metamorphosis is being seen under the subphylum urochordata. So we can write, students, our next point, that, see, retrogressive, your concept is clear? Retrogressive, okay, metamorphosis is seen in the case of urochordata as the chordate characters, are absent in the adult stage. No notochord, no nerve cord, absent in the adult stage. Okay, so simply we can write, as we have discussed, the retrogressive means it is having the, we can say, in the adult stage it is less developed, in the embryonic stage it is more developed. That is what is said as retrogressive metamorphosis seen as the chordate characters are absent in the adult stage, means it is not present in the adult stage. The chordate characters means the notochord, the nerve cord is completely absent. So that is why, as I said, or clearly I make you clear the concept, what is the type of the metamorphosis, progressive and the retrogressive. So it belongs to the urochordata, belongs to the type of metamorphosis that is called your retrogressive. Okay, so next point, in the case of the urochordata, does it belongs to the monoecious or does it belong to the dioecious? Yes, in the case of the urochordata, both the male and the female organs are present in the same organism. Then you tell in which category it will come, hermaphrodite or dioecious? Yes, your answer will be hermaphrodite. So we can write it is hermaphrodite in nature, means both the male and female reproductive organs are present in the same organism. Next point, in the case of the subphylum Urochordata, how the respiration is being done, how the excretion is being done. So the respiration is, we can say it is done by the branchial, or we can say it is done by the gills, and also excretion by the protonephridia. So we can write respiration by branchial, or simply we can write by gills. Similarly, excretion by protonephridia. Excretion by protonephridia. Okay. Next point, how is the development is being done in the case of the subphylum Urochordata? How the development is being done? As we discussed that the obviously metamorphosis means the larval stage is present. Then if the larval stage is present, then students, the development will be direct or indirect? Yes, the development will be indirect, and the larval stages are such as your Ascidian tadpole larva. So we can write our next point. The development is indirect, okay, and the larval stages are, we can say, such as the Ascidian tadpole larva. Ascidian tadpole larva. Okay, this one is your, we can say, the larval stage. So students, we have discussed so many points, such as your, this belongs to the retrogressive metamorphosis, as the chordate characters are absent in the adult. Hermaphrodite in nature means it have the same, in the same organism it have the male and the female reproductive organs. Respiration by branchial means it occurs by the gills. Excretion by the protonephridia. Okay. Similarly, as we discussed in so many cases, we discussed the excretion by the flame cells, excretion is Hess type. Similarly, in this case, the excretion is by protonephridia. How is the development? As we discussed that the metamorphosis taking place, obviously larval stages are present. So that is why development is indirect, and the larval stages are Ascidian tadpole larva. And lastly, your example, common example, you can take the herdmania. Okay, common example, we can take the herdmania. And also the Ascidia, etc. Okay. So these are your common examples under the subphylum Urochordata. So students, we have completely discussed about the subphylum Urochordata. Now we'll go to the subphylum Cephalochordata. Okay, please note down. Next students, come to your another subphylum of the Acraniata, that is your, we can say, the Cephalochordata. Okay, Cephalochordata. First point, these are called as the blueprint of the chordata. Why it is called the blueprint of the chordata? I will tell you. First we will write the common point, that is the habitat. These are exclusively marine, and also these are solitary in nature, means these are present in a single manner. These are not present in the colonial. So we can write our first point. We can write these are exclusively marine, okay, and the solitary means these are not present in the colonial or the group manner, but these are present in the single manner. That is why these are exclusively marine and solitary. Next point, you can see the structure, it is somehow, you can say it is somehow fish-like structure. So we can say the body is fish-like and segmented. You can see the segmentation. So we can write our next point, the body is fish-like and segmented. So we can write the body is fish-like and segmented. Okay. Now come to your point. Why it is called the blueprint of the chordata? Because the notochord and the nerve cord is present from the one end of the body to the other end of the body throughout the life. Means not it is like the we can say in the case of the urochordata, means the notochord is present or the nerve cord is present in the embryonic stage, but it is absent in the adult stage. No, it is not the case. In this case, the notochord and the nerve cord is present from the one end of the body to the other end of the body throughout the life. That is why it is called the blueprint of chordata. Understood? So your next point, notochord and nerve cord is present from one end of the body to the other end of the body throughout the life. Most importantly, throughout the life. Okay, that is why it is called as the blueprint of chordata. Okay, next, what is the type of circulation? Generally, circulation in the case of the chordata, what is? It is type closed type. So the circulation is, we can say, the closed type. Circulation is closed type. Next, how the respiration is being done? In this case also same, the respiration is by branchial, means by the help of the gills. Respiration is branchial, means by the help of the gills, or we can write in bracket by the gills. Okay, by the gills. Now, how the excretion is being done? Same. The excretion is being done in the case of the cephalochordata is by the means of the protonephridia. Excretion by protonephridia. Okay. Next, the gonads. Okay, the gonads, as we know in the case of the human, those are the male gonads and the female gonads. Simply, the gonads in the case of the cephalochordata may be paid or unpaid. Okay, so we can write our next point. Gonads may be paid or unpaid. Okay, next point, fertilization is external. Fertilization is external. External means what? The fusion of the male gamete and the female gamete takes place outside the body. Development is indirect due to the presence of the larva. And which type of metamorphosis it shows? Obviously, the embryonic stage is, we can say in the embryonic stages, the development is how much there? It is much more developed in the case of the adult stage. Means we can say the adult stage have the more developed character. That is why it is called the progressive metamorphosis. So we can write development is indirect, having larval stages showing the progressive metamorphosis, showing the progressive metamorphosis. Okay. So students, so many points we discussed. Firstly, those are exclusively marine, solitary. Body is fish-like and segmented. Notochord and nerve cord is present. Okay, from one end of the body to the other end of the body throughout the life. That is why it is called the blueprint of the chordata. Circulation is closed type. Respiration is by branchial, or we can say by the gills. Then the excretion by protonephridia. Gonads may be paired or unpaired. Fertilization is external. Development is indirect, having the larval stage showing the progressive metamorphosis. And lastly, the example we can say the Amphioxus or the lancelet, having the scientific name Branchiostomata. Stomata. Example, lastly, Amphioxus or lancelet. Amphioxus, or we can say commonly the lancelet. Why it is called lancelet, student? Because it looks like something, a surgical equipment which the surgery doctors they use. So it is somehow look like a surgical, we can say, equipment. That is why also it is called as the lancelet, or the scientific name is, or we can say, the Branchiostomata. Okay. So students, today we discussed two important subphylums under the Acraniata. First, we discussed the Urochordata, in which we discussed that the Urochordata are also exclusively marine, these are also exclusively marine, but in that case, those were the solitary. Okay, you can also write these are the free living. Okay, in this case, these are the free living. Okay, please add 1 point, free living. In the case of the Urochordata, those were sessile, means fixed. Okay. But in that case, those are solitary, all colonial. But in this case, these are only solitary, but also these are free living. Next, we discussed so many points. Urochordata means the notochord is only restricted or limited in the tail region. That also in the embryonic stage. But in the case of the adult stage, the notochord is completely absent. Later on, in the case of the nerve cord also, it is present in the embryonic stage, but it is absent in the case of the adult stage. But in the case of the cephalochordata, the notochord and nerve cord both are present from one end of the body to the other end of the body throughout the life. That is why it is called as the blueprint of the chordata. Okay. In that case, we take a common example, your Herdmania, Ascidia. And here we are taking the example of Amphioxus, which is commonly called as the lancelet, having the scientific name Branchiostomata. Okay, students. So today we discussed completely about the subphylum, or we can say subphylum, that is we can say the Urochordata and the Cephalochordata, that comes under the group Acraniata, means cranium is absent, vertebral column is absent, but the notochord is present. Obviously, notochord is present because it belongs to the, we can say, the phylum Chordata. So that's all for today. We will meet in our next class. Thank you.